Okay, we are live once again for top four. Let's
People
see.
have been seeing a lot of us lately.
Yeah, what is it? What is it about that? What is it with
We had a
us?
game on Saturday, then a stream on Dina's channel on Saturday night, and now we're back
That
here.
never happened. All right, dropping the link in the chat here, and then we'll get started.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, I will figure out a thumbnail later. Okay,
Will we?
I will. I'll take care of it. Okay. Oh, it's already up there. Okay. So. Ooh, they brought Jigglypuff again. So,
All right, we'll get into it.
here we are in top four.
The top four of the other side of the bracket. The winner of this one goes up against us, the Amoonguss Burnouts, in finals.
Dude, spoilers.
On the left, we have Doesn't Click, the Delibirds. Dan's bringing the Nidoking, the Moltres Galarian form, the Luxray, and the Virizion. Goomer is going to be bringing the Registeel, the Archeops, the Entei, and the Wartortle. And then Team Pussy looks like Yui's going to bring the Hatterene, the Cinderace, the Togedemaru, and the Mantine. And Sebi's going to have the Gengar, the Celesteela, the Diggersby, and the Jigglypuff. Any particular combination of these? We see that they don't have Comfey right off the bat.
Yeah, that's really strange. They don't have Comfy and they don't have Delibird. I don't know which one makes me more uncomfortable.
Yes.
But there's definitely some interesting options. We see that because there's no Comfy, the Moltres is not carrying a weakness policy.
Straight Life Orb.
It's just going Life Orb. Again, probably a max option still, even without the weakness policy. I like the Luxray here. It's good for. I mean, it's nice for Celesteela, even though they do have Togedemaru. But it's also nice because it's able to intimidate the Diggersby without being threatened too much because it is carrying a Shukaberry here.
Cinderace as well.
Yes, that too. Although the Shukaberry is not
Yeah, it doesn't
quite
help
as much
but
there, but
having Luxray for the Cinderace, yeah.
yeah. So it's a pretty safe intimidator for their big physical threats. With that Shukaberry, I would expect maybe probably a coaching from the Virizion next to that Assault Vest Entei. This is the second week in a row we're seeing Assault Vest on that thing. Choice Scarf on the Archeops is
Second week in a row, I think.
Yeah, very interesting because really just for that Cinderace, but we've also seen various forms of choiced Diggersby as well, so it could be just to make sure they outspeed a Choice Scarf Diggersby, because it is going to get hit pretty hard by that huge power rock slide. And then, of course, the Wartortle here next to a few threats like the Nidoking and the Moltres makes sense. Maybe Nasty Plot on Moltres next to Wartortle. And with leftovers on Registeel, I would think maybe this is more of a classic Iron Defense body press type set.
Yeah.
Or, and maybe they have one or two other attacking moves mixed in because they likely have the coaching option on Virizion, so they could use coaching next to either one of those, the Entei or the Registeel. A little bit harder to discern what Team Pussy wants to do here because we are looking at this from the Delibird's perspective, so we don't see Team Pussy's items here yet. We just see some classic combinations. The Togedemaru and Celesteela on opposite sides is nice to protect the Celesteela from electric type attacks from potentially the Nidoking, Luxray, Registeel. Then we also have the classic Cinderace, Gengar here. We've got Hatterene and Jigglypuff on opposite sides of the field as their main Trick Room mode.
Cinderace and Diggersby, too. They like to go for that max airstream plus
Yes.
Band-Aid Earthquake.
Yeah, the only, or even, I mean, we've seen them go Scarf on
Yeah.
Diggersby, just slightly
To
slower
underspeed
than
a little bit,
Cinderace,
yeah.
so they can still Airstream and Earthquake. That's really powerful too. I like that combination. The only weird thing, I guess, is that Celesteela and Diggersby are on the same side.
Yeah.
a lot of the time Cinderace nowadays is their flying type of choice to Earthquake next to, but we have seen them. We have seen them use
Yes.
Diggersby on the opposite side of Celesteela as well, so they can just Earthquake at the same time. But that's also not a huge deal because Diggersby gets high horsepower anyway, so
Yeah.
it's that's fine. Um, that's about all I've got. You want to jump in?
No, looks to be a good set here from both of them. We don't see the Trevenant on Team Pussy's side, so
Yeah.
I think we haven't really seen much of that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. I think they left one more thing on the bench, the Pangoro.
Okay.
So, and then as we talked about, the Comfey and the Delibirds, the Delibird left on the bench for the Delibirds.
Yeah. The Comfey out of those four, the Comfey is absolutely the most surprising one.
But I like
not
the 8
to
that they
see.
brought.
Yeah, for sure. Not super surprising to see no Trevenant or Pangoro. They're not the only C tier on their team. I'd be surprised to see them leave out is Mantine because
But they bring it.
they love that
they
thing,
bring it.
and somehow it works.
Yeah.
Like all the time. All right, so let's get into this here. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Okay, so let's see. There's a Moltres lead, which is strange for them.
Yeah, you don't usually see it.
And it looks like they're probably leaving Nidoking on the bench here. So, yep, that's it's Moltres with Luxray and Virizion. So, here we go.
All right, so from Team Pussy, we're seeing UA bring out the Togedemaru and Sebi bringing out the Gengar here. A lead that they actually like to go for a lot. And then we have the Wartortle Moltres lead coming out. And it looks like Dan has the ability to Dynamax, so that means that I believe it is Sebi that has the ability to Dynamax right now.
Yeah, so the max slot is Gengar, or sorry, the Moltres and the Togedemaru right now.
Oh,
they
Togedemaru.
have Shadow Ball on the Moltres. That's interesting. And no Nasty Plot, even though they are leading it next to their redirection. They don't have Nasty Plot.
But let's see if we don't normally see the Moltres go for an early game Dynamax. Doesn't look like they're thinking about that right now. Obviously, that could change in the future. Wartortle in general I like because it gives you the ability to kind of redirect everything away from it. Even though the Moltres isn't really threatened right now by either of these two. I mean, the Togedemaru can kind of do a little something, but you're not really worried too much from a Zing Zap. The most that's going to do is maybe prop Berserk, right? Is that what the...
Yeah, but even so, I'd be comfortable with that with Wartortle here.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Wartortle switching out.
Wartortle's going to get switched out into the Registeel. And we're going to see a Fake Out come out into the Registeel slot. And an Icy Wind coming. Oh, and the Moltres is going to avoid that attack.
That's actually kind of a dangerous move from Team Pussy's end because for all they know, this is weakness policy Moltres, and it could have been Dynamaxing.
Yep, and there we go. There's the Fiery Wrath. That does good damage on the Togedemaru right there. I mean, we know that it's Life Orb too, and obviously it's still neutral.
Oh, the Curse Body activates.
Curse Body onto the Fiery Wrath. So that's really... Man, and then on top of that, they just lost their Dynamax as well, so you can't Dynamax and get out of that situation. So right now, you really are being neutered. You only have the Hurricane and the Shadow Ball. So
thankfully, Shadow Ball's probably enough to pick up Togedemaru. It's Gengar's at 1 HP, of course. Shadow Ball's going to pick it up. I didn't mention this when we saw Shadow Ball initially, but it is a nice extra bit of tech for the Hatterene. But yeah, not having the Fiery Wrath here is really rough because it would be an easy KO provided that Moltres can survive the turn. Which, Zing Zap plus a Sludge Bomb, who knows? But it looks like they are, or they're at least thinking about protecting the Moltres here. Let's see if he locks into the Protect. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Icy Wind does put down a lot of pressure. Also with the Togedemaru there, too. You don't have any opportunity to Dynamax right now, so you are going to have to hit a full-on attack. Sludge Bomb going into the Moltres slot. That was going to do a decent amount of damage. And then Nuzzle also going into the Moltres slot. So, good choice right there. We're going to see a Curse coming out from the Registeel. It's going to lower the speed down a stage and then boost its attack and defense by 1 stage as well. So this thing's really sitting up, trying to get bulky and also revealing the leftovers too. We obviously saw that during team preview, but now they know about it as well.
I think there's normally I'd say there's a decent chance that Moltres wants to max here, but it's really dangerous to do that when you're staring down a potential nuzzle.
Yeah.
But the Registeel, I think, is in a pretty good position right now. It's got a curse setup. It's at full HP. Let's see. Oh, this is a more of a support-oriented Luxray. Snarl, Helping Hand, Baby Allies, and just a nice stab move there with the Thunderbolt.
Most likely very bulky. Might be very
Probably,
good.
yeah. And with the Intimidate Shukaberry, it should be taking some hits for sure.
Are you scared of this Virizion coming in? Maybe you can get an attack off, but we saw they doubled the Moltres last time. You want to try and get that coaching off. Is it worth trying to risk it? They're saying they don't think it is.
Yeah, they already saw the Sludge Bomb going into that slot. Virizion's not going to die to Sludge Bomb. I mean, it's Focus Sash, but it also has a big special defense stat. But it is going to be probably too much damage. More than they're willing to take, obviously, because they're switching
the Luxray come out. It's going to bring an Intimidate onto that Togedemaru. We haven't seen anything out of that Togedemaru, but they tend to be ran physical. Sludge Bomb coming out into the Luxray slot there. Ooh, that does good damage. And then we're going to see the Endeavor.
That's a very good move. That's a very good move for trying to take out, just neuter the Registeel, because with how bulky that thing is, and it's already got a curse set up, it's got these leftovers.
Yep.
It's going to be really hard to get it down that low normally, so Endeavor's a great way to do that.
Yeah, I really, really like that too, because especially like Celesteela probably gets walled by this Registeel, so if you're able to really get its health down low to where it can't kind of recover anything, puts you in a good position in the coming turns, especially in the end game. But yeah, Endeavor, excellent move right there.
They could still have Flamethrower on Celesteela, and if it gets down to like a 1v1 between those two steel types, the Celesteela will win even if it just has a Leech Seed.
Yeah.
It'll be sapping more health than the leftovers recover, so I'm willing to bet the last two moves on the Registeel are Body Press and Protect.
Something that we've seen that are pretty common out of their games, Team Pussy and the Delibirds. Late game Dynamaxes, we have not seen any Dynamaxes from either team yet. And we're probably, 3-4 turns in already? It doesn't look like any team is even close to looking to Dynamax right now, so we're kind of in for a long game. We see the Diggersby coming out, though.
Yeah, I wonder if the Diggersby might like to here, because it does have the slot. We see the Luxray doesn't, so we know the Diggersby does. It might actually be in a good position because it got in without being intimidated. They don't know about the Shukaberry, but from this range, they should KO through it. And even +1 Registeel, I think the Diggersby is probably going to be able to take that out too, even with just high horsepower. Especially if this Diggersby is choice banned, it's easily going to be able to KO either of these Pokemon. But the Moltres switch is probably a good one here, just to cover for the option of going a ground move going into that slot. Virizion is too. We do see it does have the coaching here, Quick Guard, Close Combat, and Leaf Blade as well. No Protect, opting for Quick Guard over Protect. Looks like they're switching.
I think Virizion's safe here as well because I think you pretty much always go for the ground move into the Registeel. You have Entei on that slot. You have the War Turtle on that slot. You're good with any type of damage going out into that slot in general. So I think right here you're pretty comfortable going right into the.
And there's the Protect.
And there's the Protect coming from the Registeel. That's a good move from them. And high horsepower coming out into the Registeel, so that's expected. That was a good call from them in general to switch out that Luxray. Now you have the opportunity to intimidate, and you can get a coaching up very easily now.
Yeah, I do wonder. I think that was probably the correct play from both teams here. I do wonder, depending on the item on the Diggersby, it could end up going for a high horsepower before the coaching, or the Leaf Blade even goes off if it's Scarf. If they decide to go for coaching instead of Leaf Blade and the Diggersby is choice banned, then it'll definitely KO the Registeel even at +2 defense. Even without a choice band, I am curious about the damage calc on a +2 Registeel. So
we're gonna see the close combat come off. Ooh, the Diggersby actually being switched out into the Celesteela here.
Good defensive switch. It is going to be neutral.
And then Hatterene as well, so we're going to see a double switch into the Togedemaru.
Okay, so it seems like...
that's decent damage.
Yeah, that's good damage for Celesteela for sure. And they don't really mind dropping their stats because they do still have their Focus Sash intact. So I think... I'm not sure about that play from Team Pussy. I think they... maybe they were. This probably confirms that they're not Scarf Digger's Beam, because if they were, I think that was an easy attack there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would have been just high horsepower into the same slot and then a Trick Room on the Hatterene. But yeah, they were in a tough position after that. After that switch in Protect.
So Celesteela can Dynamax here, is that correct?
I believe so.
We saw that the Virizion didn't have the option to Dynamax.
Okay, so then, yeah. Oh, there's the Custap Berry.
Custap Berry, okay.
All right, so Celesteela is Dynamaxing. We have the Custap Berry on the Togedemaru, so it's. I wonder if they're potentially going for an Endeavor on Virizion, and then Celesteela could actually pick up a KO on it and get a Beast Boost.
Can Custap also activate off of Fake Out?
What do you mean? Because
we're seeing this. Okay.
Okay. They may also just Airstream into Virizion. It's at -1 special defense.
And there's the Airstream.
Okay, so they get a speed boost here and a beast boost.
We'll see how they're trained exactly.
Yes, that's going to be important to note. Likely going to be special attack, I think. Okay, so there's 2 speed boosts. We get a beast boost, and it is. Yeah, there's the special attack. Okay, so more offensive Celesteela, and there is the body press. Okay, so it is. We've confirmed the moveset. It is Protect, Curse, Body Press, and Iron Head. Togedemaru goes down, but did its job here, quite frankly. The paralysis was really, really nice, just to make sure the Virizion couldn't do anything before it went down. Custap Berry Nuzzle was very nice there. I think that also that's a pretty clear indication that this is sturdy Togedemaru. The sturdy Custap Berry Endeavor stuff is something we've seen from them quite a lot. So, so yeah, I think the Delibirds are in a bit of a spot here.
Yeah, because the Celesteela came out. It's got good amount of HP left. It's boosted the speed, so it's able to outspeed most of what they have here.
Yeah.
And now it's at +1. They've also been known to run a ground move on the Celesteela, or even a fire type move. Either of those would be very effective into the Registeel because it's basically neutral at that point.
Yeah, I think I'd probably expect to see a Flamethrower or Max Flare here, because they are special. So I wouldn't expect to see a ground move there. They've run both physical and special. So
and we're gonna see the Cinderace, man, and this Cinderace is actually in a decent spot here.
Yeah, Team Pussy has a lot of offensive pressure here right now. It's Delibirds are definitely in a spot here, and it's gonna be kind of like the Moltres does have the Dynamax right now, but it's just going to be so awkward to take that much damage from Celesteela because it's already boosted up. It's may even be faster than Moltres right now. We'll have to see. We know it's faster than Paralyzed Virizion at neutral, so depending on how much speed the Delibirds put in this Moltres, we'll see how that plays out. But the Cinderace is definitely going first. And I don't think we've seen a Life Orb out of anything from Team Pussy side. I suspect that the Diggersby is probably choice banned, so the Cinderace, they have used banded Cinderace in the past before, but I'm wondering if the Cinderace is Life Orb here, so I'm actually curious about a Life Orb Pyro Ball calc onto Registeel. Probably would KO.
We're going to see Dynamax from the Moltres.
Yeah, they are actually maxing, which is a little bit of a dangerous play, but they might have to. They might be forced to do that defensively just to make sure that Moltres can take a hit. Might actually be good for Team Pussy to focus down that side, get rid of their Dynamax, and potentially kill that side while Registeel's kind of just sitting here and not doing much. Because it's only gotten 1 curse up. Okay, so there is the Pyro Ball. This might be a double up. Oh! They have Meteor Beam.
Oh,
how? Oh my god!
Well, the sand should knock it out.
Probably, yeah.
But
Life Orb knocks it out first.
Yeah. Oh, true.
But they do get one +1 max move off with Life Orb.
And this is going to go into the Cinderace. So no matter what, Cinderace goes down here, even if it's Focus Sash, we're seeing that it's not Sash.
We also did not see a Life Orb. Interesting to note. Okay. So that may potentially be the final nail in the coffin for Team Pussy. But that rockfall is also really good information because it means
For the Delibirds, you mean?
right, yes, because it means that that's decent damage. Oh, that was a crit. Okay. So not great damage. But yeah, the rockfall I think is a good. First of all, that's pretty much confirmation that they have Meteor Beam. That's not going to be a rock slide on a special attack boosting Celesteela. That also probably means that they have Power Herb.
Yeah. It's just thinking the same thing. Especially we haven't seen any leftovers or any type of berry, anything like that. That kind of
Right
from the Celesteela so far. So, and the Hattering's gonna come in here. So we've seen the rockfall. We've seen the airstream. Do they have a way to deal with this Registeel right now?
I mean, they could still have a fire move, but that means that they're giving up either flash cannon or protect, which would be a little bit odd. But that might be worth it for them just to. There's the flare.
Max flare.
So they either have okay, and it is okay. Yeah, to be expected. That's a +1 max flare. So this Celesteela then is lacking either protect or flash cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another special attack boost. Yeah, this Celesteela is just.
Is there anything that they're weak to on the steel side? Not really, right? Especially like the only thing that you would want to hit on the Delibird side is maybe Moltres, but if you have Rockfall, I mean, maybe you just go without a steel move.
Yeah, maybe you do. I mean, there's really just the Comfy, but
you have Gengar.
Right. Yeah. Maybe they did just go without steel. It's a little bit. It seems a little bit odd to do that because Steel Spike, just the secondary effect, is so good.
Yeah. Boosting the defense.
But maybe they're not really concerned with that. They're obviously a special attack boosting variant. They're carrying Power or Meteor Beam presumably. So maybe they don't really care about boosting their defenses. Maybe it's just all coverage with the Flamethrower Meteor Beam, and it's just speed and special attack boosting with the. Maxwell's wondering about AV. Yeah, I guess AV is possible. I guess we've only seen it take physical hits.
Yeah.
But with that max Rockfall, I feel like that's probably pretty good confirmation that it's Meteor Beam. You could still run Meteor Beam without the Power Herb just for the max Rockfall. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we've seen them do that. We've definitely seen them run Meteor Beam.
Doesn't get Ancient Power?
No, I don't think so.
We're going to see the Celesteela withdraw here.
That does make sense.
Yeah, they're afraid of the Luxray having some type of electric attack here.
Okay, good switch on the fake out then. Luxray might go down here. Oh, okay, decently bulky. Oh, Life Orb. I'm actually surprised the Luxray survived that with the Life Orb on the hat. Okay, so good Snarl. Might not really be enough.
No, I don't think so. But they're doing everything they can.
They did force the Celesteela to switch out, though. And it is 3-3 right now, so maybe this is... And Trick Room is up. Luxray is naturally slower than Diggersby. So is Wartortle.
But is Trick Room's up. Hattering basically just Dazzling Gleams, right?
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. Well, it won't kill Wartortle, so the Diggersby might be in a bit of a spot, but Sun is also up, so it's really just concerned about, like, a Scald Burn.
Yeah. We have seen this Wartortle have offensive moves as well. It's not always just not always supportive, so...
Yeah, I think we've actually seen them use Hydro Pump before. Yeah. Definitely Scald for sure. Scald is just your bread and butter water type attack.
And we're going to see a Helping Hand, so maybe a Scald does go into it.
Probably. That's actually a good play because they know that the Luxray, it doesn't have Protect. Oh, there's the timer. Mm-hmm. The Luxray doesn't have Protect. They know they're going down to Dazzling Gleam, so they want the Luxray to do something.
Aqua Jet.
Ooh, okay, that is not good enough.
That's not going to be good enough.
Okay, and there's the Dazzle. Luxray goes down. So yeah, it was either a Helping Hand or a Baby Doll Eyes, and with Aqua Jet being your only attack on Wartortle, it's just not enough. And it's Swords Dance. Okay, this is not a choice. Not a choice.
So
Diggersby.
No choice at all.
Okay. Yeah, that pretty much seals it up for Team Pussy there. I don't think they should have revealed.
I don't think so either. I think just a regular high horsepower probably takes care of it here, but
yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Even if you don't have a damage boosting item, like it's you're still doing good damage, but you're also very, very safe here with Sun. Sun is out. All they have is okay. The Psychic is also good information. If I were them, I probably would have just gone for another...
Yeah, another Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, another Dazzling Gleam, and kind of make them wonder, like, is your Hatterene a max option? Are you trying to take advantage of Expanding Force after max Psychic? So,
especially because they ran Life Orb.
Right, exactly. So I think that's... The Delibirds are getting good information here. They know it's Psychic and not Expanding Force because I think the last move either has to be Protect or Mystical Fire, probably Mystical Fire. And they also know that the Diggersby, not only is it not choice, but it has Swords Dance.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good information.
And they might just have found out that it's AV.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Especially because we didn't see a Protect come out.
Right, and that damage should let Team Pussy know that the Entei is AV. The Delibirds probably should have forfeited there to keep to preserve that information, but they actually got a bunch of good information at the end there too. Yeah. So let's just fast forward here a little bit. Let's look at player 1 and 2. So Sebi and Dan are both player 1. Okay, almost there. Looks like the Delibirds took a little while to figure out which mode they were gonna go with. Oh, Team Pussy changing it up. Okay.
Okay, so we're seeing the where the Gengar Cinderace mode come out, and the Delibirds think they can just win with what they have. So the War Turtle Moltres. Hey, we saw this before. We lost in game 1 with the lead that we had, and we were like, you know what? If we adjust, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
So
and it worked. So this might work too.
Might work too. You never know. So this is a mode that they like going with. This Team Pussy, I'm saying, the Cinderace Gengar mode. We've seen it come out. Yeah, we've seen this a lot of times. Whether that just they go for like an Airstream plus Icy Wind, and you're like, what's the? It's like, but they have a plan. Like it's always to make sure that they're in prime position to just be in the end game ahead of you. So
it's also much safer for them to do something like that now because they know the Moltres from game 1. They know the Moltres is Life Orb,
yeah.
So they're not afraid of going for Icy Wind on it. Very good information for sure.
War Turtle also a good lead here because there's not really a lot that Cinderace can do to hit it with and just one-shot it off the bat. So if you can somehow manage to like make it physically bulky enough to take a stab type attack, it doesn't have an electric coverage, doesn't have grass coverage, doesn't really have anything that can hit you super effective with. So as long as you can withstand its strongest neutral attack, you should be okay.
Mm-hmm. And we did see it's not Life Orb. The hat's actually carrying the Life Orb. So I do. You're right. I do really wonder about the Cinderace's damage output against the War Turtle here. I'm sure it's going for a follow me when a potential max Cinderace is on the other side of the field. So we are seeing a double turn 1 max with the Galarian Moltres and the Cinderace. What happens if you can Curse Body activate on max moves at all? It probably so. Can't, right?
And we're gonna see the Aqua Jet come out to break the sash most likely onto that Gengar. So we're probably gonna see a double down into the Gengar here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just...
It's not great damage. No. The fact that War Turtle can still take another one of those and live is... Yeah, and that also is maybe...
Icy Wind.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so I was thinking that maybe that was an indication they don't have max Airstream because the Airstream from Bounce is actually going to be a little bit more damage. But going for the max Darkness and getting a special defense drop before you Icy Wind is also a legit play. So, but I think, I mean, War Turtle's still in the green, right? It's still going to be able to take another... I mean, if they have Airstream, maybe it goes down to that because that's going to be... Oh, White Herb. Okay. That's good for Intimidate. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've seen the item now. Definitely a decent choice.
Why does White Herb take so long to proc?
I don't know. We
used
we sent out Tyranitar and White Herb didn't proc until
the very end after all the abilities had went off.
Yeah, Sand already went off, and then we were like, wait, did we put the wrong item? And then White Herb went off. Like, oh, what?
But, I think this was really good play here by the Delibirds, going for the Aqua Jet double down into the Gengar slot because it was obviously going to do a lot. Forcing the Celesteela into a position that it may not want to be in right now, too.
Yeah.
They like to have this Celesteela to kind of just be the closer, the one that can kind of finish off the lead, but now it's being pushed into a position that it may not want to be in.
And it might be taking special defense drops here.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately for Cinderace, the White Herb did come out, so it's not taking extra damage from Moltres' attacks right now. But Moltres can still get a couple of these Max
What if we
Darknesses
see
off.
a Max Airstream Meteor Beam, maybe?
That might kill the Moltres.
Because it is at -1 because of the special defense drop, and then the Celesteela will be at +1 after that.
Yeah, I mean that's assuming that the Max Airstream does KO the War Turtle.
There's the Max Guard.
Okay, so what's War Turtle doing here? That's my question.
Oh, a double protect. Okay.
Okay, just trying to stall out the opposing Max, I guess, but you're stalling out yours at the same time.
Oh, a Flutterby. Interesting.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's going to be the same base power as the Darkness.
Yeah.
So with the chip there, the Darkness might KO now, but that wasn't going to KO to begin with. I'm wondering if they're going for Meteor Beam here.
What if they're non-power herb?
Okay, just an air
they
slash.
Get a free Meteor Beam setup.
Well, no, they would just... Oh, if they're not...
They're not power herb.
Yeah. Okay, so now that both of these have protected, it might actually be worth it to go for an Airstream, presuming you have Airstream, onto the War Turtle, and then try to go for a Meteor Beam onto the Moltres. Max Darkness or Max Flutterby might KO the War Turtle from this range, but it looks like it might be a roll as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a little tough. But we've seen, so we know that Cinderace has Sucker Punch and U-Turn.
Yeah.
With the G-Max form, it's really hard to say no to a fire attack.
We also saw Pyro Ball.
We saw Pyro Ball. Yeah, that's right. So there's only one other attack it could have. It's probably another attacking move. Probably doesn't have Protect. It's got to be either Bounce or Iron Head, right?
I would think so.
Which I think is probably going to be Iron Head. That makes sense as to why they're going for Darkness and Flutterby onto the War Turtle, since it's going to resist that Steel.
There's Airstream.
It is Airstream. I spoke too soon.
Okay.
So we know the moveset on Cinderace.
So does this knock out the War Turtle? That's the key thing here.
I think it does.
Oh.
I heard about this.
Yeah. And it
lived?
Jesus. That's rough, because who knows if there's a couple of rolls that happen there. But cool, it lived. So let's
Okay, so they did recreate. I believe Dan said he edited out the recreation part, so we just jump back in. Yeah, okay, so let's see. Oh, okay, so the rest of the turn plays out. So okay, so the Celesteela just flamethrowers. That should finish off the War Turtle. Okay. So we do have a kind of a confirmed board state going into the next turn. There's a Phantasm coming out here. Okay. Interesting. I'm not sure how they're going to recreate all these boosts and drops, but well, they did it somehow. So we'll see. We'll see. Attempt to recreate the beginning of the matchups. Yeah, okay. Thank you for the edits, Dan. Oops. Okay, so it looks like the same thing is happening here. Okay, so they just recreated the whole match, I think, which is probably the best way to go.
Yeah.
It was only 3 turns in anyway, so that makes sense. Okay. So War Turtle feints to the Flamethrower, and we see a special attack boost on the Celesteela, also a speed boost on the Celesteela. So Celesteela is looking real good here. And then there is that Phantasm into the Cinderace, dropping defense. Not sure why they wanted to go for Phantasm there. Maybe defense drops for maybe for Entei coming in next turn, perhaps. Because I think the other side was War Turtle, Entei, and what else was on that side? Registeel. Okay. And the Scarf Archeops, actually. Maybe they bring out that and try to, like, Rock Slide or something.
I wonder if they were more thrown off about the fact that Cinderace at the time was Bug typing. They didn't want to throw a Dark type into it.
Well, that would still be neutral.
That was an unusual play. Maybe they're waiting for the Entei to come in. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I mean the defense drop is really the only thing I can.
I mean, you already have your
There it
special
is, yeah.
attack dropped by 1, so at this point you're using the max more for the secondary effects. Yeah, maybe a
Yeah.
-1 extreme speed from this range just knocks out here, which would make sense.
Yeah. That's probably, but even then, I mean, yeah, Cinderace might be a little too healthy. I think if you had a damage boosting item on Entei, you could probably pull that off. Yeah, and here we see the War Turtles. They do have extreme speed. The War Turtles all pretty much all defense, just with Aqua Jet. Yeah, they probably do try to go for the extreme speed, but I don't think they pick it up. If they had Life Orb, Silk Scarf, something like that, maybe. Choice Band, definitely. But yeah, I don't think they're getting it.
What we see in their match against Doesn't Click, that it does do decent damage.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not bad, but I'm skeptical.
Okay,
And you know what? I may be
Moltres
wrong.
Draw here, which is a good play. Since it was at -1 special attack, the Luxray is going to come in, get an Intimidate off on both these Pokemon. Even though it seems like pretty much the only thing that's physical is the Cinderace at this point. Confirmed the Celesteela has mostly been special at up to this point. We're going to see the Protect come out from the Celesteela, trying to protect itself from any fire attack this Entei has. Pyro Ball coming out. Is that going to be into Moltres? Most likely, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so into this Luxray. It's at -1. Ooh.
Takes it pretty well.
Takes it very well, and we're gonna see Sacred Fire coming out.
Okay, that
So
was
maybe that's more what they were looking for, was the -1 Sacred Fire into the Celesteela.
that too. Yeah, and now they're pretty free to do that again because Cinderace isn't really threatening Entei here, especially at -1 because the White Herb got eaten up early. We also saw that since we just saw Protect on Celesteela, we know they're not AV, and that reveals the last move, so we know they don't have any Steel coverage, which in this matchup is fine because there's no Comfy.
Now, if it's AV, you have a chance to go for the Meteor Beam into the Entei here? I mean, they're gonna be at +2. I mean, that probably still doesn't knock out the Entei at that point, right?
+2 Meteor Beam
Into
might...
AV.
Okay, this extreme speed probably does it. Okay, no, they're going for a Sacred Fire again. Okay, which is probably smart.
Yeah, you want to get rid of this Celesteela here, definitely.
This should be a KO, I think. Yeah. Yeah. I don't... I'm not super familiar with my Entei on Celesteela calcs, but
Was Celesteela at +1 speed? Was it still slower?
Yeah. I mean, that's not too surprising. It's base 61 speed, Entei's base 100, so
yeah, they tend to not run it super fast anyway.
And Entei should probably be faster than Diggersby 2 here, so you could actually go for the same thing. I don't think a Helping Hand Sacred Fire would actually kill Diggersby, but it's going to do a lot of damage, and you've got a 50-50 on the burn.
50-50 on the burn is the important thing there, yeah.
But yeah, Cinderace is not really... I mean, it's got KO potential into the Luxray. Entei is just looking pretty nice here as long as it can deal well with the Diggersby, which yeah, it looks like they are, because they again, just like last game with the Hatterene, the Luxray knows that the Cinderace is going to kill it, so it's just going to go for Helping Hand. That's a good protect from Diggersby. Just get rid of the Luxray.
Oh, we're going to see U-turn.
That'll still kill. So yeah, just pick the Luxray off here. Make sure that your Diggersby doesn't take too much damage, because they probably knew that a Helping Hand and Sacred Fire is going out into that slot. Might have been worth it to try to call that Protect, because you know it's not. It revealed Sword Stance, and you know the Diggersby's not choiced. Might have been worth it to call that Protect and just go for Helping Hand Extreme Speed on the Cinderace there. But that might have also been a difficult call to make.
The Hatterene kind of puts him into a tough position as well.
Yeah, and there's Sacred Fire into Diggersby, so very good Protect there. So is it, let's see, we've got 4 left on the Delibird side, and...
4, I believe, also on the on Team Pussy. I believe, yeah.
Yeah, the Gengar went down and the Celesteela went down. Okay, so it's 4-4 right now. Unfortunately, the Diggersby is in kind of a spot right now. The Delibirds actually have a very good shot at just taking out that side, because the Diggersby just protected.
Yeah.
And it's the last thing on that side, so it can't switch into anything, and it's sitting right in front of Virizion. That's not good for Diggersby. So as long as they don't get it, they should be going for a double protect here. As long as Team Pussy doesn't get the double protect.
That Diggersby should be going.
Close combat's just going to go right into that, take it out, and then Entei probably is not going to be able to KO Hatterene. Maybe it has Iron Head, it can flinch. I don't even think Iron Head KOs. But there is the flinch chance. But Hatterene is most likely going to get an attack off here. They attempt the double, they don't get it, and Diggersby is gone. Yeah. And most likely going to see a Trick Room from Hatterene here.
And I think Sante most likely has something for this Hatterene here. Yeah, there's the Iron Head, especially because they're AVs, so they're going to mostly go with coverage. We're going to see the flinch.
Oh!
Yep. And there it is.
That might be game in favor of the Delibirds. And this is a free coaching because Iron Head just finishes it off right here.
Yep.
Looks like a pretty clean.
They can pretty much go for coaching all the whole way. Oh, good choice by Team Pussy there.
Definitely good play. Go into game 3.
Look, that was a good job by the Delibirds there. They stuck to their game plan. They figured they had a way to get out of this. Didn't look super great for them in the beginning, but forcing the Celesteela out, we mentioned it in the very beginning. Getting the Gengar knocked out right away on turn 1, forcing the Celesteela into a position that it didn't want to be, made it have to take way more hits than it wanted to have to take. And I think that really put them into a tough position because Diggersby didn't want to be out in any of those situations anyway. So we're going to see the Togedemaru Gengar come out. I believe that was their lead from game 1.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see the Luxray and the Registeel come out this time.
Interesting leads.
Yeah.
The Togedemaru is definitely a little bit dangerous here because they have to be afraid of that Custap Berry and Endeavor stuff. So honestly, maybe you just leave it alone. I don't know. I think the Snarl here is excellent. You're going to get good damage on Gengar, lowered special attack, and you break Sturdy
and Sash.
Yeah, for sure. I do definitely like the Snarl here.
Here's the fake out into the Registeel. That's a good move.
That is good for the Delibirds though, because the Snarl is the more important move to get off here. Even though you're taking a lot of damage, miss there would have been kind of devastating. But you're breaking Sash and breaking Sturdy and getting a -1 on the Gengar is absolutely huge. Now I think you probably want to set up on the Registeel because you're not really threatened that much. The only thing that they can really do, the Team Pussy can really do to the Registeel is paralyze it. Gengar's not really threatening it. You know, Shadow Ball might do okay damage, but it's at -1.
Yeah.
I think it's better to set up on the Togedemaru and make sure you can just one-shot it from this range with a body press.
Yeah.
Because that's a good way to deal with the sturdy Custap Berry Endeavor shit, because you don't want to. You don't want to get caught off guard by that again.
Yeah, the Delibirds can pretty much safely switch out this Luxray as well into anything that they want here, and not take the KO right off the bat. The Moltres is really good in this spot. So I think, in general, they're not in a bad spot to take a -1 attack from this Gengar at all. Yeah. And that way you don't just lose the Luxray, because I think it can be important, particularly for, the Cinderace later on in the match to kind of neuter it.
Well, the Cinderace does have White Herbs, so and the Luxray is pretty low, so it's not taking a hit from Diggersby. I think there's actually merit to just leaving it in like this and letting it go down so you get a free switch into something else. Especially because if you get a free switch into, let's say, Moltres, you can just max it right when it comes in on turn 3. It does go down to a Sludge Bomb. I think that's probably okay for the Delibirds. Probably a Body Press here. Flinch would not be great. Okay.
The
body press comes out. Is it enough?
Oh, I'm sure it is. Helping Hand.
Yeah.
Helping Hand, base 200.
Base 150.
Base 150.
But yeah, still, big defense stat. Helping Hand makes sense, yeah. That was a really good way to deal with that particular Togedemaru set. So hats off to the Delibirds for playing it that way. Moltres is definitely a good switch in here. It's not threatened by a -1 Gengar.
Nope, you've already broken Sash.
But at the same time, whatever's coming in the other slot, like maybe Cinderace, has the opportunity to Dynamax now. And I think I'm not sure what you want to do with the Registeel slot. If Cinderace comes in, probably switch it out into War Turtle, maybe. Um, but there's the Cinderace. So Delibirds are actually in a decent spot here. Moltres is not super threatened. It is kind of threatened by a potential Dynamax Cinderace, but you also know that Cinderace is not carrying Life Orb, so it's not doing absurd damage, but it could still you could still go for a Max Flutterby. You got to be aware of that.
Yeah, and we're seeing Moltres and Cinderace have the opportunity to Dynamax it as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
gives a little bit of protection on that side, considering that they just lost a Pokemon each on their sides.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see both of the max here. I think, but at the same time, I think that probably gives the advantage to the Delibirds. Because I think if you're Team Pussy, you want to get Celesteela into position to Dynamax. I think that's what got you your win in Game 1, and I think for a very good reason. I think it's your best option in this matchup. But that also makes things awkward for Cinderace because it doesn't have Protect, so if it doesn't max here, could very well just go down. Okay, so they are maxing the Moltres. They're going for max Darkness into the Gengar. I don't think that was the correct play.
And we're going to see the withdrawal from there into
Never
the
mind.
Celesteela.
That was the correct play. Yeah, that was...
Registeel coming back.
Into
probably
War
into
Turtle,
War
probably,
Turtle,
yeah. Okay, so... I wonder if they were predicting the switch into Celesteela there, because if they were just intending to kill the Gengar, I don't really like that play. But if they were covering for a Celesteela switch because they know Celesteela is a big threat against them, fair enough. Then that is actually a good play.
I mean, the Gengar's at -1, so I could totally see them going for the read there.
Yeah, for sure. And Gengar's faster than I think everything on the Delibird
Icy
side.
Wind, so you can neuter a lot of their stuff and kind of have speed control later on in the game.
Yeah, so you can come back in, a little bit of speed control, and you're not at -1 anymore, so you can do decent damage with Sludge Bomb into, Virizion, let's say. And you probably assume that the Delibirds did not bring the Archeops. You don't even know it's Scarf anyway, so you figure at worst you're going to speed tie it. So.
And we're going to see the Airstream coming out.
Okay, interesting play. I think that does kind of make sense, trying to give Celesteela a speed boost there. That's a lot of damage.
Good damage right there.
That's actually more damage than I expected. Yep, critical hit, that's why. Okay. So, lucky crit for Team Pussy there. We'll see if it matters. Maybe not so lucky. There's the Berserk. Probably didn't want that.
Let's see how much this Darkness does.
Does this kill? Yeah, it does. Yeah. Ooh. Alright, Team Pussy's being put in kind of a spot here. They've got the White Herb's going to activate, so the drop doesn't matter on Cinderace. But yeah, they've got Follow Me next to a +1 Moltres now. That crit was actually good for the Delibirds.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that was a really good crit. Well, I don't want to say good crit, but it put them in a good position in general, because now you can freely go for some good max Airstreams. Probably threaten this Cinderace a little bit too. I mean, obviously they had the White Herb, so they were able to reset the special defense step back to neutral. But yeah, I think this is a great spot for him, because you can protect you can protect it pretty well with the War Turtle. We saw that there was pretty much no way for the Cinderace to 2-hit KO this War Turtle.
Yeah.
So that puts them in a very tough position in general, because 3 Follow Me's could pretty much win the game right now.
At the same time, you could also just go for Max Darkness and Sludge Bomb onto War Turtle right now. You could even target both of those moves into Moltres, and just in case the War Turtle gets cheeky and tries to protect, you're going to KO the Moltres. But Ben says, who won Game 1? This is actually Game 3. Team Pussy took Game 1, and the Delibirds took Game 2.
Gengar going down might not be the worst thing, too, if you can sacrifice it for War Turtle. So if you can make that trade, get the Diggersby in. I believe the Cinderace will have one more turn to max, and the Diggersby can be there next to the Cinderace, and they can kind of start going for that Earthquake Airstream stuff that they typically like to go for.
Yeah.
So losing the Gengar may not be terrible here. Losing the Cinderace would be absolutely devastating.
But at the same time, I don't think Cinderace is at risk of going down, but they're targeting it anyway. Okay, so there is a Follow Me. I'd expect a Darkness and Sludge Bomb to come out here.
There's the darkness.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. They did target the.
Damn.
Sludge Bomb might not pick up the KO there.
That is not good damage. And we saw they must have got the high roll last time.
Looks like it. Yeah. Okay. So there is the darkness and Sludge
nope,
Bomb.
It's not going to be enough.
Wow. Oh, and no poison. That's rough. Okay. Okay, yeah, that is a lot of damage, but yeah, that's not enough to pick up the Cinderace. The White Herb actually saving it there because it would have been at -1 special defense otherwise. This is still maybe a good spot for Team Pussy though because they can finish off the Wartortle with a max Airstream or a max Darkness actually. But the Moltres
they're at +1 speed.
Moltres is faster than Gengar right now, so they could
Airstream is probably the way that you want to go here. Airstream plus Sludge Bomb into the Moltres slot is probably the best way to go.
Moltres is -1 special defense, so I doubt the Sludge Bomb actually kills it. Maybe it's hard to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if you Sludge Bomb it and then it gets another attack off and dies to its own Life Orb damage, something like that.
Yeah. Man, this game's coming down to the wire here.
Yeah.
It seems like every turn is just seeming like it holds the entire balance of the game in that turn.
Yeah, we got 5 left on the Delibird side, 4 left on Team Pussy side. They do actually withdraw Wartortle.
Coming into the Registeel slot here, probably valuing one more Follow Me. Okay. Cinderace going to go for the Airstream. That's going to be resisted if they go into the Registeel here. Maybe they're forcing the switch? No. Or forcing the Follow Me, but they did not. Went into it. We're going to see the Sludge Bomb. We'll see if this is enough.
Okay, here it is.
Nope, not going to be enough.
Poison? No poison, and they survive the Life Orb damage. That's really huge for Moltres. That might... I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but that might seal up the game for the Delibirds.
Yeah.
That's rough.
And the Life Orb damage I don't think is going to be enough to knock it out. Let's see. Nope, not going to be enough.
It's going to go down to 1 more tick of Life Orb because the Dynamax is over now, but this is a very fast Moltres. I wonder how the speed tiers work right now because the... Cinderace is at +2 speed.
Cinderace should be able to outspeed it.
Okay, Cinderace is at +2 speed, so it'll outspeed.
A protect play from Moltres and just being able to knock out the Cinderace essentially wins the game, considering how low the both Pokemon are right now, the Cinderace and the Moltres. So
right, and since Cinderace is faster, because they're both at +2, the Moltres and Cinderace both are at +2 if I'm remembering correctly. So. I think the Cinderace... I think I spoke too soon that might seal it up for the Delibirds. I think the Cinderace can... Because it did... Okay, the Dynamax went down for the Cinderace first. So it can actually just take out the Moltres, and the Diggersby could just go for a ground attack onto Registeel.
Will that be enough for the Registeel, though? Stab, I understand, huge power, but we haven't seen any boosting item on it.
Without a curse boost on Registeel, yeah, I think it goes down.
All right.
I think it does. I could be wrong, but it's also taking a little bit of chip damage. So,
yeah.
I think it goes down. And I'm sure that's probably what Team Pussy's going to want to go for. And I think the Delibirds know that, so they're looking to
like we were saying, a protect play for the Moltres might be able to give them a chance to knock out the Cinderace, especially because we don't. That we have no attacking move on the no protect on the Cinderace. We've seen all 4 of its moves.
Right.
Darkness, the U-turn, the Pyro Ball, and the bounce. So.
So Cinderace probably going to want to U-turn or Sucker Punch into the Moltres slot. Moltres is protecting. I think that's probably okay for Team Pussy as long as they can pick up the KO here.
They bounce.
Oh.
That's a great call.
Wow. They are risking accuracy, though. That's only 85% accurate. And yeah, Registeel does go down to the high horsepower here. Great position for Team Pussy. They just... That was a really... You know what? Okay, well, Wartortle's... okay, they knew that they were going to protect the Moltres and didn't want to get faked out with Wartortle. Could that be it? I mean,
Could
they are
be.
risking accuracy, but if they knew that this was going to be the board state on the next turn, that might have actually been the play. So now the Diggersby has to live a hit here because the bounce is going to get redirected into War Turtle, most likely, and then
It's gonna have to live a +1 Fiery Wrath.
yeah,
It is gonna be spread.
right. So I think it can do that, but it is +1. It is life
And
orb.
we also
but,
haven't seen anything besides a ground move come out of this, and Swords Dance and Protect.
right. So the last move, I'm sure they're not willing to get walled by Moltres with Diggersby. So I'm sure the last move is capable of hitting Moltres somehow, either just a normal attack or maybe even like a Thunder Punch to get a super effective hit, but probably normal attack. Okay, so there's the
coming
bounce.
out. Okay,
Does
that
hit.
does land. Yeah.
Diggersby has to hit here and not flinch. I do think it lives. I think it probably goes down if this was single target.
Also a flinch. Yeah, like you
That would
said.
go down if it was single target. Yeah, could flinch.
Oh,
Right, life orb.
Life Orb.
It
It
did
did
flinch.
flinch.
Oh god. Okay.
Well, they have Virizion and Entei here against basically just Hattering and
Wow. Okay.
most likely, honestly, a +1 Ironhead might just knock out the Hattering.
It's very close.
And you're Sash on the Virizion, so you're not
Yeah.
really worried about what this Diggersby can do. I think you just go for the coaching plus Ironhead.
Yeah, I think you do too. It looks like they're trying to target the Diggersby, but if they're able to protect and Trick Room, that could spell doom for the Delibirds.
Yeah.
If they protect and Trick Room,
No
they,
Protect coming out.
Oh, okay, that's gonna be game. I think. They made a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's game.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Yeah, Trick Room doesn't even matter.
No, they needed to protect there. I think you risk just losing straight up to the coaching plus
Right.
the Ironhead.
Right.
But I think you're willing to take that because
Honestly, well, look at that damage on the Hattering though. I'm not sure a +1 would have actually. Yeah, the Extreme Speed didn't even finish it off. I don't think a +1
Yeah.
Ironhead gets it. So I think you do unfortunately go down to Life Orb after taking +1 Ironhead. I think. But I think that's actually worth it if you can just get an attack off, kill something with Diggersby under Trick Room. Maybe you still lose, honestly, but yeah, wow.
so congrats to the Delibirds for the second team to go first season into the finals. So congrats to them. Beating
took
Team
out-
Pussy, an undefeated team going in. Great story in general. So yeah, that was absolutely.
Ben says it looked like potentially choice band damage on the Registeel. We actually saw Protect and Swords Dance from the Diggersby, so we know it's not choiced. But yeah, that was absolutely nuts.
Mhm.
Holy shit!
Definitely. And Max says they had E-Speed
Oh,
with the
that's-
Protect Matter.
that's fair.
I mean, possibly. I still think that you're forcing them to... The Hattering's going to be at full health at that point. They do have AV, but it made it a lot easier when you just didn't do anything. You're putting them to a spot to where it's like, oh, we have to E-Speed it now. And they basically got 2 free attacks into the Hattering for nothing. You know.
All right, so this is our final bracket. Well, almost final bracket. We still got to put the champion right down there. Whew, that was a great game.
Yeah, good job by the Delibirds there. Being Doesn't Click and Team Pussy, those are 2 hard teams to get into the finals with.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a good game, definitely.
Yeah. And now we got us versus the Delibirds, the good old
Yeah.
Delibirds.
And we didn't kind of say anything, but people have seen a difference in the regular season and in the playoffs. I think Mew was an eccentric part of our game plan one time during our prep during the regular season. And I think the only cool thing that anybody ever saw out of it was just a transform from the Porygon Z.
Yeah.
Off of the Porygon Z. And now it's shown out. So
Not every game. Well, actually, in the wild card match, we didn't even hit the field.
no, but it's definitely had a great showing in general.
Yeah.
And in general, not to go too much into it, but we've shown that our the experience that we have getting into deep runs into this league really does come out. And even if we had a little bit of an off regular season, we were able to more or less flip the switch and go straight into these playoffs and show people that we were a team that still had everything that they had last season.
I do have to say we took these playoff matches much more seriously, especially toward the end there when we were in the last week when, at least for me, I was kind of even hoping to lose so that we could play against the seniors instead of the Wailords.
There were. That,
I know that's fine. There were a few matches, even aside from that, where you could almost say we were phoning it in a little bit. We were just sort of. But yeah, as like you said, we kind of flipped the switch when it came to playoffs, and that's why, despite coming in here at 5-5, we broke through the wild card match, and we took out two of the top teams in the league. But you know what? So did the Delibirds. Well, not they got a bye from the wild card, but they took out two. Are the Delibirds, if the Delibirds win, they're going to have taken out all the previous champions in the playoff bracket. So that's something.
Yeah, definitely. So they definitely had a good run coming into here. It's going to be a great game to go against them in general. They did beat us when we had the head-to-head against them. But yeah, different game plans, different teams essentially. So we got a lot of stuff ready to go against them. So should be good.
Yeah, and I think it goes without saying what our choice for pick'ems is going to be. Don't need an extra slide for that. We're going to be filling out that champion slot after this next battle. So
yeah, that's what we think. We think we're going to have 2 crowns next to our name next week. And you thought we were obnoxious this time? I got news for you.
It's going to get bad.
It's going to get real bad. Man. You guys don't know obnoxious. So vote for the Delibirds in the playoffs because none of you want that. But we'll take that too. It don't matter.
All right, so that's going to do it for us. This is kind of taking the place of our usual top 4 recap kind of thing. So we're not going to be... we were thinking about doing another stream tomorrow. Probably not going to now. We're just kind of mixing it in with the commentary from this other top 4 match. So that's going to be our week, and we will see you for finals.
No trophy, so it doesn't count. That's what Hector says. You know what, Hector? You're right. What was it that we were saying? We were so mad that we didn't get a trophy last season that we decided to win this one too.
Yeah. It's the only way to get another one.
Mew versus Moltres, what could go wrong? Man, if we didn't make any type of transactions during the season.
Yeah. Oh well. I guess we're just gonna lose. That's fine.
I guess we just lose.
Any final thoughts before we sign off?
No, great job, great season by the Delibirds. Getting to finals, that's absolutely a fantastic accomplishment. And then losing to the previous champion,
No shame in that.
No shame in that, Great run, guys. So, all right, we'll see you guys soon.
We will, next time we talk to you guys, we will be 2-time MBC champions. So.
No, in all seriousness, it's going to be great games. Alyssa is going to be doing the commentary, so we're not going to be doing any type of commentary on it. Definitely tune in because the Delibirds have had a fantastic season. They beat us good in the regular season, so this is not going to be a given. This is not going to be easy for us. Yeah. They're going to bring everything they had, and they've done nothing but beat good teams to get here. So the last thing we should be doing is sleeping on them. We're going to be going in all out, making sure that we can take this victory because they definitely have proven that they deserve to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with these playoff matches.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys.